Hi, I'm the Year 4 class teacher, Miss Maycock. This PowerPoint should hopefully give you all the information you need to know about Year 4, but if you have any more questions, feel free to come after school on Wednesday the 21st. Or if you just want to have a look around the classroom, welcome to come then. Again, if you have any other questions at any other time, feel free to come to me at the end of the day or send me an email via the staff at. But hopefully this will give you a brief overview of the year and answer most of your questions. Okay, so this is our summary of our key aims for Year 4. So the main thing is to promote self-motivation and a positive attitude towards learning. So we're really focusing on growth mindset this year, especially in maths and English, encouraging children to have a can-do approach to things and learn from their mistakes and keep trying, basically, because sometimes they might get a bit demotivated at times, but encouraging them to keep going, give it another go even when they're finding it challenging, because eventually the more practice and more effort they put in, the easier it'll be for them. As well, encouraging good manners and helpfulness. They're already a really respectful bunch of children, but it's great to see that they're helping out around the school, especially some of the new reception children and Year 1s. They're looking out for them in the playground and things like that, and helping out in the lunch hall, which is fantastic. Developing organisational skills and presentation. So going to be really focusing on handwriting this year and presentation in books, as well as encouraging the children to have a bit more initiative and work on their independence ready for the upper school. We're going to be focusing on core skills in English, maths and science. So this year we've got the times table test, so we're going to be doing lots of work on times tables throughout the year, making sure they're competent in all their Year 3, 4 spellings, and we'll be recapping some of their spelling rules from Year 1 and 2 as well, just to support their fluency. And hopefully by the end of the year they'll all be able to use capital letters correctly and basic punctuation without reminders. Yes, I'll be developing speaking and listening skills this year. And again, I've mentioned this already, but encouraging independence, so thinking about the 5 B's: brain, board, book, buddy, boss, with an encouragement to try and use one of the other 4 B's before resorting to the teacher. And yes, just making sure they're ready for Year 5 and 6. So this slide is a brief summary of the Year 4 curriculum. So each half term, similar to what they've done in the past, there'll be a main theme per half term, including a big question. And we have quite a cross-curricular approach to the curriculum. So I'll try and link what we are doing in English to what we're doing in either history or geography, and art, sometimes even PE is linked to it. For example, at the moment we're doing Romans as our history topic. We've done a little bit of geography to do with Rome and Italy. We are reading some Roman books such as Escape to Pompeii, or books based in Roman times such as Escape to Pompeii, and in PE we are going to be doing Roman dance. So we're trying to link everything together where possible, and we're actually doing Roman numerals in maths, so it all kind of links in together then, and then each half term will be a different theme, but I'll show you on the next slide a more in-depth view of that. We're continuing with Read, Write, Ink in school, so every fortnight there'll be a new spelling rule. The homework's going to change slightly this year in English, but we'll send out a letter with more information about that. Our handwriting programme is Pen Pals handwriting scheme, so we'll be using that each week, building on their handwriting skills from Year 3. And at the moment all children are on pencils, but hopefully by the end of the year most of them will be writing with a pen, but it'll be the same each year. So Year 5 and 6 they'll start back on pencil and work their way onto pens, just to give them a chance, especially because over the summer sometimes handwriting regresses a little bit and they just need a few weeks to get back into the swing of things. For maths, we are continuing on with the scheme we started last year, which is Power Maths, and it will be building on a lot of the skills they learnt in Year 3. Again, we've got French, which they started a little bit in Year 3 that we'll be doing, and try to do a little bit each half term. building on some of the language they learnt last year. I try to do the Daily Mail every day. I mean, sometimes obviously it rains or our lessons overrun, we don't necessarily always have time for it, but most days I try and give them a little break in the afternoon, and we run around the tennis court. Also, we've got the multiplication tables check this year. I'll be sending out more information about that over the course of the year, but where possible, please practice your child's times tables with them at home. There's a really great website called timestables.org, I believe. There's also timestables.com, but they've got almost like mock-ups of the times table check that the children will be doing in the summer term this year. But we'll be practicing times tables every week. On Friday we'll be doing a test each week, moving hopefully on to the next one for them. And we've started again at bronze 10 again, just to recap them, because I noticed with my class last year some of them had forgotten a few of their times tables from year 3, and that slowed them down a little bit. Whereas if we start from the beginning again, if they're fluent, fantastic, they'll move on. If they need a bit more practice on a certain times table, we have more time to practice them. And I'll make sure any children that do find times tables challenging are part of an intervention to support them with that. So this year we've got a range of different topics, starting off with the Romans with a focus on history, and we this term are doing PE linking to the Romans. We are doing some history and geography linked to the Romans. Our English with Escape to Pompeii is a text based in Roman times. So a large focus of our curriculum this term is on the Romans. After half term we'll be learning about rivers with a focus on geography. We'll be reading the book Oliver and the Seawigs in English. And then after Christmas we'll be moving on to what was one of my class's favourite topics last year, chocolate. So that links to the digestive system in science, and it links to learning about the ancient Mayans in our history, and we'll be reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Hopefully at some point during that term we will also get either a visitor in, or we'll visit a chocolate shop in order to do a chocolate workshop, but I'll let you know nearer the time more details surrounding that. And then spring 2, so after February half term, we'll be learning about inspiring Iceland in our geography work. We'll be reading Arthur and the Golden Rope, and we'll also be learning a lot about living things in their habitats in our science work. So hopefully either spring 2 or summer 1 we'll get a chance to do a trip to the Wetlands Centre in Barnes and get to explore some of the wildlife there. And then sort of following on, loosely linked to that, in summer 1 we'll also be carrying on with some work in our science about living things in their habitats. In English we'll be learning about Aesop's fables, which are linked to animals as well, and doing a little bit of work as well inspired by some of the David Attenborough documentaries. And we'll be studying ancient Greece as our history, because that links on with Aesop. And finally in summer 2 we'll be doing a sort of link to robots in our science work, and we'll be reading The Iron Man by Ted Hughes, and hopefully another trip will take place then, potentially to the Science Museum. But yes, with the trips I'll update you nearer the time once they have been officially finalised. So in terms of behaviour this year, there'll still be class dojos and individual dojos, and also I'll be looking at table dojos, so as a table working together to try and earn the most in a term, and that will hopefully encourage good values and learning behaviours. I also try and do each Friday morning, when they don't have collective worship, a class celebrations assembly, and that will be when I can award children with mathletics and redo writer certificates. So if they've been on there, they might be getting some dojos and any pen layout licence being awarded, and that will help to sort of boost them as a class and as individuals and motivate them to work hard. And
following on from that, there'll also be something called the Extra Mile Board this year, which is something new that we've started at St Mary's, and that's to recognise children who are going above and beyond. So that might be getting their homework done the night it's set, putting their hand up in lots of different lessons, helping tidy up around the school without having been asked, things like that. And we've still got the 6 or is it 7 R's now, I think. Ready, responsible, respectful, resilient, resourceful, risk taker, and but the main focus this year is on ready and responsible and respectful. Those 3 R's are our key focuses this year. So any Golden Achiever certificates this year, that will be what we'll be looking at for children who are showing that they're ready to learn, they're taking responsibility for their learning, and they're being respectful as well. And the traffic lights are no longer a thing, but if there are cases where children are showing unexpected behaviours in school, there'll be a lot of restorative work done with them, having chats with them, talking about how we can address the problem and how we can go about resolving the problem and ensuring it won't happen again. But hopefully we won't have to have too many of those this year. So reading this year, I'm sure it's the same as last year. Aim to read 5 times a week and get it recorded in reading records. But this year, and maybe they did also in year 3, they're allowed to add comments in themselves. Because I understand as they're getting older, they're probably reading a bit more independently, and it also frees up your time a bit more. So maybe if once or twice a week you're listening to them read, the other times I'm happy for them to write the comments in themselves and listen to themselves read. And it'll be the same with the green for 5 comments, yellow for 1 to 4, and a red mark 0 comments. But hopefully there won't be many red marks this year. They have their sign day where they can change their reading books, and I'll aim to listen to every child read, or myself or the teaching assistant will try and listen to every child read about once a fortnight. There'll be a couple of children that will get a chance to be read with every week, but the majority of the time it'll be once a fortnight. And every half term I'll get them to do some reading comprehension activities, and I'll assess their reading level based on that, and that will be the chance for them to move up a stage.
So in year 4, the homework expectations are we have spelling homework set every other Monday. So every fortnight we'll have a new spelling rule. And again, with year 3, we've got the half-termly common exception words to learn for the spelling challenge at the end of the term. So please practice those at home. I'll be sending home a list in the next week or so for the children to practice those. And we'll try and do a bit of work on those in school as well. Our maths homework scheme has changed this year. It's now on a website called Diagnostic Questions. On the back of the children's timetable tracker, I have given their login for that. But if anyone loses that, I have got copies in school to send home as well. This homework system is quite good because it gives them example questions linking to our work we've done in class. And it'd be multiple choice, but they have to explain their reasoning behind choosing their answer, so that gives them a chance to build on their reasoning skills. And if there was one question where a lot of them were struggling with, then I can go over it in class with them and we can discuss misconceptions that way. If children are finding it challenging to get the homework done at home, or for various reasons haven't got it done, or they were stuck on a question and wanted a bit of help from me, every Tuesday lunchtime I'll be running a homework club for them. And this will be the same with reading. If they haven't read at home, then they can come to that to do some reading there. This slide is just some general reminders. I know you all know already, but P days are Tuesday and Thursday, with Tuesday being outdoor PE and Thursday being our indoor PE session. Show and tell day will also be on Tuesdays. Make sure you bring your children bring in a fruit for snack time and a water bottle each day, because I know there's some children that are quite hungry by lunchtime, so it was really helpful they have a snack. And as well with the water bottle, we do have some cups at school, but ideally bring a water bottle. Every Friday in the newsletter there might be some notices from year 4, and we'll also be putting in a little paragraph about what we've been learning that week in year 4, because I know sometimes you ask the children what they've been up to and they're a bit vague about it, so at least then you'll be able to find out what they've been doing and learning in class. So hopefully this PowerPoint answered most of the questions you might have had about year 4, but again, if you want to come visit the classroom on Wednesday the 21st, you're welcome to have a look around, or if you have any other questions, feel free to ask them then, or come and grab me at the start or end of the day. But yeah, thank you for listening. Hopefully this PowerPoint was helpful, and see you around in the playground.